Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another quick video. All right, y'all, this is just going to be a real quick video here. I just want to give you my thoughts on some current talk between Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford on a potential fight. As y'all know, they've been going through negotiations, and one of the things here that just kind of threw me off with this fight. And first of all, I have to say, this is the reason why a lot of great fights are not being made in boxing, and we're not going to see a lot of great fights in 2021, is because of money. Money, man. Manny Pacquiao right now, he's asking for $40 million for a Terence Crawford fight. If you don't believe me, here's the statement. He said, "I like to fight somebody who has a title. We told Bob I get $40 million and Crawford gets $10 million. I will fight anybody. You know me. I don't back away from any challenge. Bring them on." So right there, Manny Pacquiao wants $40 million for a fight with Terence Crawford. As y'all know, so he said he wants to fight somebody with the title. First off, right there, let's talk about that. Manny Pacquiao just got stripped of the WBA title due to inactivity. He had a title, but he just didn't defend it. So he had one in his hands, but he let it go. Ugas has that title now. So now he wants to fight for another title. And my thing about that right there is, if you're going to fight for these titles, you got to stick with them. You either got to defend them, you got to stay active and defend those titles against your mandatories or whatever, or you got to try to unify and go for undisputed. And Manny Pacquiao, he wasn't doing any of that. That's why he got stripped of the belt. You know, he was trying to go off and fight Conor McGregor. So let's talk about that. He wanted to fight Conor McGregor instead of defend the belt, so he got stripped. That fight's a bust. Conor lost against Dustin Poirier. He's out of the picture. Ryan Garcia, he wanted to fight Ryan Garcia in an exhibition match. That fight's a bust. That ain't happening. It was just all talk, according to De La Hoya. So that's out of the picture. Now Manny Pacquiao had a title. It's gone. He wants to try to grab another title. Negotiating with guys like Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence, too, on the side. But now he wants $40 million for a Terence Crawford fight. And to me, that's just unreal. At this point, with this pandemic, asking for $40 million is just unreal. You know, especially with Bob Arum. You know, if you try to get Bob Arum to pay out $40 million for a Crawford-Pacquiao fight, that's not going to happen, because he was the reason the fight didn't happen before. He was trying to save Manny Pacquiao from fighting Terence Crawford because he feared for his health. You know, so why is he going to give $40 million for a Crawford-Pacquiao fight? Hell, he wouldn't even give Sean Porter more than $1 million for a Sean Porter-Crawford fight. You know, that's another fight to talk about in another video, but he wouldn't even give out that money for that fight. So how does Manny Pacquiao think Bob Arum is actually going to dish out this amount of money for this fight, especially during the pandemic? Like, they are starting to have a live gate in boxing now, but will they really make that money back? Will they really make that money back through pay-per-views? You know, $50 million, 10 for Terence and 40 for Manny. Are they really going to make that money back in pay-per-views? I don't think so. You know, Terence Crawford, a great fighter, but he's not a superstar. He's not going to bring in a lot of people. He's not going to bring in a lot of people for that type of money, to make that type of money back. So I'm like, come on. Then you got Manny Pacquiao, who's been out of the ring for going on 2 years. By the time he gets back in there, it will be 2 years. And then he's been stripped of his belt. He's already 42 years old. So are people really going to come and see him against Terence Crawford? Now, they might against, like, entertainment boxers like Ryan Garcia, or if he was going in there with, like, a Logan Paul or Conor McGregor, because that's that entertainment side. You know, he's broken out to superstar, so he can go in there and do those type of crazy exhibition fights for large amounts of money, because that'll bring out casual fans and movie stars and all of that. But when you just talking about him on an actual boxing level, the hardcore fans, then he just needs to be on a reasonable level. He needs to be on a reasonable level. Ask for what he made against Broner and Thurman. You know, don't go out of thinking, oh, I need $40 or $50 million for a Terence Crawford fight, and then say you want to fight for a title. You just had a title. If you kept that title and unified or tried to go for a Spence fight, you could have had 3. You know, you could have went in that mix with Undisputed, but now that he lost one, he wants to try to grab one back. But the thing is he going to try to unify with Spence if he was to beat Crawford? Is he going to try to stay active and try to stay in that Undisputed mix? See, the thing is, I don't know. See, Ugas has that belt, and now he's already talking about, look, I want to unify with Errol Spence. You know, he's already talking about that on his side, whereas Crawford lost his, as Manny Pacquiao, he lost his belt. Now he's trying to get another one again, you know, so it's just crazy. Look, no disrespect to Manny. He's a legend. You know, he's one of my favorite fighters. He's fought everybody, but now that he's kind of in that position where, you know, he's at the end of his career, he's looking for cash outs and payouts, it's kind of holding up the game, I'm going to be honest. That's why I would just rather see him leave the competitive side of boxing alone and just go off and do the entertainment boxing. Go off and fight Conor, leave the belts alone, go off and fight Ryan Garcia in an exhibition match, Don't bother Crawford and Spence. Let them do their thing, because that's the fight everybody wants to see. Crawford and Spence, or I'll see Crawford and Porter and Spence and Ugas first, and then that fight. So let them four do their thing, but Manny, you kind of just stay out of that, because right now, $40 million, that's unreal, man. Let me know, guys, what y'all think in the comments. But my final thoughts, I really don't think this Crawford-Pacquiao fight is going to happen for that very reason there, that money. And I think that's the reason why we don't get a lot of the fights, because of diva demands. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.